The thing is, if he does well against Atlanta, then he looks great, saying, okay, well, I started Taysom Hill, and he's a starting quarterback. But if he doesn't do well against Atlanta, then everybody knows he's just a utility guy, and he still has Jameis to pick it up.
Mm-hmm.
What's up, Guff Gang? Grown Up Fantasy Football has returned. James Reiner here I'm Joey Marino. I'm here with James Reiner. And we're down a man today, as per almost usual now. James, what's wrong with Zach?
Zach had some complications. Turns out he got heart surgery. He did not need heart surgery. He needed a butt replacement, just like my father.
Right.
And he is messed up. We don't know how many episodes he's going to be out for. We're all very concerned.
Mm-hmm. Now, question, did the doctors go in thinking it was a butt replacement surgery or a heart surgery, but he needed a butt replacement, so they put a heart...
It was a misdiagnosis.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I guess he has some bad health insurance, some crummy doctors, and
just all around bad situation.
We need more subscribers so we can afford some good health insurance.
That's it. James is right. That's going to be the only thing that could probably save Zach is at least one more subscriber into the Guff Gang. When the Guff Gang grows, you pay for our health insurance, apparently. But without further ado, today's topic's a little bit different than what we usually do. We've been doing these fantasy showdowns, asking what happened to certain players. Today, we're taking a little bit of a deep dive and asking yet another question. But today's question, is Taysom Hill for real? It's something that a lot of people have been asking themselves and other fantasy experts and just anyone they see around town. Hey, is Taysom Hill for real in fantasy? So today we're diving into that topic. But before we begin, be sure to like and subscribe to save Zach and his misdiagnosis and to keep the Guff Gang growing and healthy. But James, are we ready to get into it today?
I'm ready when you are.
Let's do it. All right, so the question, is Taysom Hill for real? Let's talk about it. So this past weekend, Taysom Hill got the start over Jameis Winston at the New Orleans Saints as they played the Atlanta Falcons. And here's what he did. He went 18 for 23 in the air for 233 yards, no touchdowns, but also no picks. He had 10 attempts on the ground for 51 yards and 2 touchdowns. Also had a fumble in there, but a pretty solid day. I think he scored about 24, 25 fantasy points for you this weekend. James, what do you make of this Taysom Hill madness?
Yeah, he looked good versus Atlanta. The passing was the concern for everybody. A lot of people thought he might just get pulled in a play or two, and this was just deception by Sean Payton, and they'd throw Jameis Winston in there. But no, he played the whole game. He played a good game-managing game. He didn't turn the ball over except for that one fumble. But what were your thoughts on him before he got the start at quarterback? Did you think he was a good player?
He's a good utility guy. I mean, as he's been used in the pros, he's been a very effective utility player. Going into it, I was a little shocked. I think everyone was a little shocked, but part of me wasn't shocked just because. So this offseason, Sean Payton puts a first-round tender on Taysom Hill. So somebody's got to give up a first-round pick to go get Taysom Hill. That's saying a lot. They're really investing into Taysom Hill. Sean Payton's got faith in him. Okay, sure, that's fine. A few months later, they pick up Jameis Winston in free agency. It's a concerning look, and now Drew Brees goes down with a huge injury, and now people are thinking, okay, last year you turned to Teddy Bridgewater instead of Taysom Hill, and Bridgewater was great. So the thinking is, okay, well, he'll turn to Jameis Winston, a former starting NFL quarterback, goes to Taysom Hill. I think Sean Payton, it was kind of the perfect recipe for Taysom Hill this weekend and for Sean Payton, because he invested so heavily into him, saying Taysom Hill's a starting quarterback. He can be a starting quarterback in this league. So he gives him the start, but it's against Atlanta. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm an Atlanta fan. I can say it. Our defense is pretty terrible.
Right.
So the thing is, if he does well against Atlanta, then he looks great, saying, okay, well, I started Taysom Hill, and he's a starting quarterback. But if he doesn't do well against Atlanta, then everybody knows he's just a utility guy, and he still has Jameis to pick it up. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's my take on it. But in terms of fantasy, he could be a viable option going forward.
Yeah. I think a lot of people said he was just going to be Tim Tebow 2.0 when he got the start. I don't think that's the case. I think he's a better passer than Tim Tebow, and I think he's a better athlete than Tim Tebow.
Yeah, Tebow was a good athlete, but I think you're right with the passer. I think he is a better passer than Tebow. He's really not bad, honestly.
I mean, and we've seen Hill make some great catches that I don't think Tim Tebow athletically could come down with.
Maybe not, but have we seen Taysom Hill play baseball?
Yeah. Okay.
That's the question.
Yeah, going forward, fantasy-wise, Taysom Hill, I think he is a viable option because he provides that rushing floor. Rushing touchdowns, rushing yards are more valuable than passing yards. That helps you out at quarterback tremendously. When you have that, I think you can play him in most matchups. I think what you said, the only threat is that maybe he has a bad game and then Peyton pulls him and throws Jameis in there. Mm-hmm. That's the risk, I think.
Yeah, that's kind of the only, well, not the only downside, but it's a real downside. Looking at his schedule ahead, he's got Denver next, Atlanta again, then Philly and Kansas City, who are both pretty good against quarterbacks, Minnesota, and he wraps up with Carolina. Yeah, I think Jameis is there, and I still feel like Sean Payton, I mean, he's on there. He's on a cheap contract, so he doesn't have to play him, but I feel like he'll get some snaps in there. I mean, Drew Brees has a really significant injury, so I don't see him coming back anytime really soon.
Probably not this year.
Probably not. So, and they're a playoff team. Mm-hmm. I think Jameis is probably going to see maybe one of those starts. Maybe they sit Taysom against Carolina if they get a few more wins here. But yeah, I don't really like the matchup against like Kansas City. Definitely not Philly because they've got a really solid D-line. But like you said, the rushing floor really keeps him viable in leagues. They're worth more than passing points, especially touchdowns. He's always a threat to score really in the red zone. So maybe they put Jameis in and move Taysom to a tight end or something, or an H-back or a wide receiver. He can score you.
Yeah. And the other thing, Sean Payton's a good coach. The Saints are a good organization. Mm-hmm. They're going to call plays that will help Taysom Hill be successful. If he was on a bad team if he was on Adam Gase's Jets, then I would be worried. But this is Sean Payton's Saints. He has Michael Thomas to throw the ball to. He's got Alvin Kamara. He's got a solid line. His defense is great. He has everything he needs to be successful. So that's why I think he will be good going forward.
Yeah, and when you talk about the weapons outside of him, Thomas, Sanders, Kamara, leaving Latavius Murray, the defense is outstanding. Yeah, he's set up for success. So going forward, say you picked up Taysom Hill off waivers this weekend. Would you be willing to start him over your current quarterback on your team?
My quarterback is Aaron Rodgers.
So is mine.
I have Taysom Hill. I picked him up when I heard the news he was starting, but you can't bet J-Rod right now, so no. Nah. I do have Tom Brady, and I would consider it if Taysom Hill had a juicy matchup. Like this week, I might have played Taysom Hill over Tom Brady. with him playing Atlanta and him playing and Brady playing the Rams. But yeah, if you have someone like that, then I think you got to play the proven starter.
All right, here's one.
Yeah,
Carson Wentz or Taysom Hill?
Taysom Hill for me.
That's tough. I might go Taysom too. Man, it's weird to say that because I've had a lot of faith in Carson this season. But yeah, Taysom Hill's got that rushing floor. It all depends if he stays in, but I think that's going to do it for today's show. So, hey, leave a comment below on what do you think about Taysom Hill. Is he for real? Is he viable for the rest of the season? Or you think he's a dud? You think Jameis is going to come in and take his spot? Let us know, and let us know if you want to know about other players who you think is maybe for real, maybe not for real. Let us know in the comments down below. Be sure to like and subscribe for Zach and for all of us. And be sure to grow up and go get guffed.